Welcome to another morning skate edition of the Inside Edge. I'm Bob McElligott, and I am rejoined by my partner, Jody Shelley, here today. I don't know if you listened to the Inside Edge from New Jersey the other day. Is there any chance that you did?
You know what, Bob? I'd love to say I did, but I didn't. But I heard about it.
Oh, well, I'm sure you did. I'm sure Jeff Rimmer tried to prime you to go and listen to it so you could hear all the nice things that he said about you.
Oh, one of the many millions that listened to it the other day told me that you guys were ribbing me on the road and I wasn't there. But without my presence, I'm really surprised at that.
Well, we're not going to do it to your face. I mean,
Wow.
geez.
Come on.
You know how they say, run with the pack. When you're not with the pack.
Well, I'll get that Jeff Rimmer back.
All right, let's talk about today's game here at Nationwide Arena. It's the Blue Jackets and the Pittsburgh Penguins. These teams meeting for the fourth time this year. The Penguins have taken the first three meetings, but two of those three meetings were close games and games that the Blue Jackets were in, including the last time they were in Pittsburgh, losing to the Penguins by the score of 2-1. This is an elite team in the NHL. It's a team at the top of the division right now, but it's not a team that is going to go unbeaten the rest of the way or anything like that. The Blue Jackets have a good chance here tonight.
I think they do. You're correct in that. And you look at this game tonight. Blue Jackets are coming off three solid wins, and when you can beat the New Jersey Devils 2-1 in a shootout, you're playing good hockey. They faced the goalie the other night, Marty Brodeur, who was outstanding. They got to feel good about their game. There's players going in and out of this lineup, as is with Pittsburgh. And when you have a team like Pittsburgh who has guys out, guys in, Malkin's out, Neal's back, there's Dupuy is out now. Take advantage of them because it creates, they know they have certainties in the lineup. Sidney Crosby is one. He's always been with Kunitz and Dupuy and had very good success. Well, Dupuy is out. Maybe take advantage. Put some doubt in some of those areas and force some of the things tonight and force them early against this Penguins team who hopefully, without having their constants there in some ways, have some doubt and some frustration.
The other night against New Jersey, one thing the Blue Jackets weren't able to do is up their 1-0 lead, and they had a lot of chances. Now, this does need to be said. Martin Brodeur was on top of his game the other night. I will give you that. But there were breakaways, there were 2-on-1s, and they never got that second goal, which ultimately resulted in having to go to overtime and to a shootout. The Devils don't have that quick strike type of offense that they can make you pay for that. The Penguins do. So should you get those opportunities in a game like this, if they make mistakes early, how important is it going to be to jump on those mistakes?
Well, Bob, that's a great point. That's a huge point, actually, because the Jersey style, as you pointed out. This is a dangerous, dangerous dynamic team, the Pittsburgh Penguins. But the Blue Jackets have to worry about their game. Of course they're going to make adjustments for the Penguins. Johansson's going to be up against Sidney Crosby. Jack Johnson and Tootin are going to be out there trying to shut him down. Advantage at home ice. Take advantage of that tonight. This team has to adapt their style and take opportunities. Make sure they take care of opportunities in front of the net because they may be few and far between. But if you're going to have those opportunities like they had last game in New Jersey, like you said, bury them.
It's funny you talk about the matchups. We don't spend a lot of time talking about them, and maybe we should spend more time talking about it because you get all engrossed in offense in this game, but you look at most of the games, they're 2-1, 3-2. There isn't a lot of offense in this game. There's a lot more defense. And as the saying goes in any sport, defense wins championships. R.J. Umberger, Nick Foligno, Ryan Johansson, Fedor Tootin, Jack Johnson, they're going to be leaned on a lot defensively here tonight.
Well, and it's interesting, the matchups. I mean, you look back at the Philadelphia Flyers home-and-home series. Couturier's first night was against Johansson. His job was to shut down Johansson's line, and that line did a good job of that. They kept him off the board. You come back here to Columbus. The Flyers the Blue Jackets have Gaborik back. Now Couturier's job is to shut down Gaborik, take away attention. Gaborik didn't stay much in the lineup. But, yeah, you notice those matchups. How hard is it to be the greatest player in the world in Sidney Crosby? He's got to play against the best defensive defenseman in the league and the best defensive forwards. And tonight, it's Ryan Johansson. He's a young kid. We talk about him all the time, how great he is with the puck, how good he plays in the faceoff circle. Well, guess what? The ultimate compliment for him is that he's going to play against the top player in the world with his line mates, Foligno and Umberger. But, yeah, that is something to be proud of. And I'm sure he goes into today, as a kid, as a young player, you want to score goals. You notice him on the ice when he's scoring goals and when he has the puck. But watch him tonight in the defensive zone going head-to-head with the best player in the world.
Speaking of the best player in the world, in Sidney Crosby, he comes into this game with 55 points. You have played against him. I mean, you've seen him live and up close in person playing in games. You've watched him from the press box. You've seen him from all angles. This guy is not a big guy, but he just finds a way to get it done. Do you ever watch him, especially in your role now, do you watch him and wonder how does he get it done night in and night out, especially when you do have to go up against the best defense the other team has to offer?
Well, I think that, it's one thing to be the best player in the world, but I've been around assistant coach. Joey Mullen, for example, is assistant coach in Philadelphia. He was an assistant coach in Pittsburgh, and I'd often pick his brain on players. And when we got to Sidney Crosby, he said, and Joey Mullen's a Hall of Fame player, forward. He played for Pittsburgh. He played for a number of teams. He said, I have never seen a guy work as hard and as detailed as Sidney Crosby. The drills he would explain, like passing a puck through. He'd put a chair on the ice after practice, passing a puck through it, picking up passes on his backhand while he's skating away from the zone. Little tiny details that, it's one thing to be the best player in the world at a moment, but to maintain that and keep that, that's got to be a tough task. And to see these guys, like you said, I played against him. I didn't have many shifts on the ice with him, Bob. But to see him, and I spoke with Jack Johnson this morning. Jack Johnson will be paired up against him tonight. The other night, Jack had Jaromir Jagr was his task, him and Toot. And I asked him about Sidney Crosby, and he's known Crosby since Shattuck days, high school, playing together. And he said, this guy, Crosby, is so strong. And you say he's not very big. He's not. But one-on-one on the wall, his leg strength and his lower body strength and balance is second to none. He's elite. And so you pick up on those aspects. You go to Jaromir Jagr, same thing, but not as quick. Jagr was probably quicker in his day. Easier to contain for Johnson because he can push him one way and catch him on that side. But if he pushes Crosby or forces him one way, he'll think Crosby's going to be going that way, but he'll quickly jump back. And Johnson said this morning, it's more of a containment game in your own end with Crosby rather than go one-on-one, head-to-head.
Let's talk about the Penguins' defense and what the Blue Jackets forwards are going to have to face here tonight. It appears Rob Scuderi is going to get back into the lineup. They re-signed him as a free agent over the summer. They really wanted that shutdown defensive guy that he was and helped them win a Stanley Cup a couple of years ago. Brooks Orpik also returned to the lineup against Carolina 2 nights ago. So that's 2 top-quality defensemen that the Penguins are getting back tonight. And let's be honest, that's going to make it tougher on those Blue Jackets forwards to get to the net.
Well, I tell you who's going to be very excited about that is the goalie, Zatkov. I mean, he's now got 2 of maybe arguably the top 2 shutdown D in the league. They're 2 of the top 10, I would say. And they both have Stanley Cup experience. Scuderi's got 2 rings with his latest in L.A. He's a guy that does he comes as advertised, and so does Orpik. They're guys that block shots, make smart plays with the puck, make their teammates better just from doing quiet little things in their own end, and throughout the lineup, they're leaders. So I'm sure that the Pittsburgh Penguins will be excited to have him back, and like I said, especially Zatkov.
Now, of course, the Blue Jackets have been on the road the last 2 games. They come home here tonight, then take off on a 4-game road trip. As a player, when you're looking at the schedule, because every day, the days kind of blend together, let's be honest, and you're in one city one day, you're in another city the next day. But when you're at home tonight, the last game before New Year's, and knowing that you've got to go out west for 3 of the next 4 games, how much importance do you put as a player on winning the game at home tonight?
Well, it's huge. I mean, it really is. First of all, you're playing the best team in the East. You're playing the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the best team in the Metro for sure. I'm not sure if it's the East. I haven't done my homework, but it is the East because I see you nodding. And when you go up against a team like this, the challenge is there. You have to be ready for 60 minutes to play your game and a complete game. And I said that against you look at the St. Louis Blues game here. Columbus had a great start. St. Louis just waited and waited and waited for the Columbus Blue Jackets to make a mistake. They end up winning the game. The same thing is here with the Pittsburgh Penguins. We spoke of them being dynamic and explosive. You cannot give them any turnovers at the blue lines. The critical areas are the blue lines, behind and in your own end. You can't make those silly plays. You can't feed their offense. So the Blue Jackets have to be on every shift. Every player has to realize how high their responsibility is tonight on every moment they're on the ice. And, home ice, last change, matchups are key for Todd Richards and his staff. And to get that done tonight at home and then get ready for a long road trip, there's 2 games left in December. The team is 7-3-1. We talk about segments during the season. November was a dud as far as 3 games below 500. October was the same way. Time to make hay, and they've done so far. Get the win tonight. Go into Colorado and do business there. But tonight is a pivotal game to ensure at least 4 games over 500 with a win tonight.
Tonight's game getting underway at 6 o'clock here at Nationwide Arena. The gates are going to open a little bit before 5 o'clock tonight. Want to make sure we get everybody in here and settled and ready to go for this big matchup here this evening. Of course, Jody and I will be on the Blue Jackets radio network tonight, or you can watch the game on Fox Sports Ohio. So that'll do it for this morning skate edition of the Inside Edge. For Jody, Shelley, I'm Bob McElligott.